With author Rosalind Cummings Yates. Good to have you in.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chicago didn't invent the blues, but this is where it got its juice, didn't it?
That's right.
How did that happen?
Well, thousands of African Americans migrated during the Great Migration, and they came up here on the Illinois Central. Thousands from Mississippi, where the blues was founded. So they brought their blues with them, and they electrified it, and that's how it became Chicago blues.
Wouldn't have been possible without that railroad, and certainly the blues came from a lot of deep South states, but Mississippi was paramount among all of them, wasn't it?
Yes, it was created in the Delta. That's where the blues was really created, so definitely, yeah.
And once those bluesmen arrived in Chicago, it seemed like the one place...
And women.
And women, and I'm not leaving the women out. In fact, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the one place they really amped it up was down on Maxwell Street.
Yeah, Maxwell Street was the place to be, and that's where a lot of people proved themselves before they could make it into the clubs.
Yeah. What do you think that was? They needed amplification. It couldn't be heard down there?
Well, yeah, it's because it was such a big meeting place, and there was the prospect of making so much money.
Right. And that we just saw a photograph of that stone. What's the significance of that?
Yeah, that's where the Illinois Central was, right there on Roosevelt Road, and thousands, like I said, came up from Mississippi and the rest of the South, right here.
We were talking about Maxwell Street, and just about a mile away is 2120 South Michigan Avenue, home of Chess Records, where this legendary producer Willie Dixon worked with Muddy Waters.
Yes.
They were so important, aren't they?
Well, those were some of the founding fathers, absolutely. And of course, Willie Dixon was the architect of the blues. He wrote so many of the classic songs and played on a lot of them as well.
So let's talk about the importance of women in this art form, the early ones especially, like Memphis Minnie and Alberta Hunter.
That's right, that's right. Well, the blues was actually popularized by women in the 20s. Before that, the only place you were really hearing blues were in the fields and juke joints. But once it became recorded, the first popular blues record was by a woman, Mamie Smith, Crazy Blues, in 1920. And all during the 20s and 30s, it was women who were the primary blues performers.
Yeah. And without them, we wouldn't have some of the more modern day people like Etta James and Coco Taylor, and one of my favorites, Renee Louise.
Oh,
yeah. Carrying it on.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. They paved the way, yeah.
So let's talk about some of the younger artists that's still keeping it alive in Chicago.
We have so
many. Some of your favorites. I know Billy Branch wrote the opening here.
I'm not going to play favorites. We have so many. But just looking at my cover, there's Toronzo Cannon, who's a wonderful guitarist.
Toronzo's terrific.
Yes, he is.
He's been on this show several times.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's quite talented.
In fact, his CD is in my car right now.
I wrote the liner notes for that CD. Yeah. Dietrich Farr, who's a wonderful stylist, great musical range. Renee Louise, as you mentioned, and Billy Branch, Don Kinsey. There's just so many people. This is, of course, the place for blues.
A lot of the old blues haunts are gone now, the old blues joints, but and a lot of it has moved to the north side. It's sort of become a tourist attraction. We know Buddy Guy's Legends is certainly one of the biggest, but name one or two others.
Well, Rose's Blues Lounge, of course, is one of my favorites. Oh, well, yes, right there at Armitage and Kimball. On the south side, we do have a couple, Lee's Unleaded, which is really good, on 75th Street, and that's been there for decades. Yeah, that's a great place
Teresa's still around?
No, Teresa's is gone. That's a landmark, legendary, but it's gone.
Rosalind Cummings Yates, great to have you. You've packed about 3 lifetimes of blues in 120 pages here. Really, really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You've got a book signing, book launch being held this Friday night, 6:30 at City Lit Books, 2523 North Kedzie in Chicago. Good having you. Good luck.